Won the toss. The Cowboys will kick off. The Bears suffering from a breakout of turnovers as you look at Toby Goen set to kick off for the Dallas Cowboys to the Bears. 8 turnovers last week for Chicago. They've been in almost every game they've played, but unable to sustain much because of those dreaded turnovers. Glenn Milburn back deep for the Bears.
And we saw a shot of Deion Sanders there, and Deion Sanders is going to play on Curtis Conway today. You know, they always put Deion, they match him up against the best receiver in the other team. So I think one of the things the Bears will be doing is staying away from Curtis Conway or staying away from Deion Sanders.
I think that's a wise choice. Goen nails it to Milburn deep in the end zone, and he's coming out with it. And Glenn Milburn gets outside the 20, about the 23. Let's have a look at the Bears offense, led by quarterback Erik Kramer, who's completed more passes than any other quarterback in the NFL this year. He ranks 6th. In front of him, a good offensive line: Heck, Perry, Wegman, Hilario, and James Big Cat Williams. 2 big cats on the field today. Bennett gets the start at running back behind Ty Hallett, Curtis Conway, Bobby Ingram. The 2 wideouts. 2 tight ends set up this time. 1 setback. That's Edgar Bennett. And let's have a look at the Dallas defense, which has been playing well. In front, Kavika Pittman, Leon Lett, Chad Hennings, and Greg Ellis. Ellis and Pittman both improving. Dexter Coakley, Brett Strickland in the middle, and Randall Godfrey having a fine year. Secondary: Deion Sanders, Omar Stoudemire, Darren Woodson, and Kevin Smith. 2nd and 6. 7 make it. Kramer drops and throws and complete, and maybe it shouldn't have been. Alonzo Mays makes the catch.
Yeah, Alonzo Mays is a big rookie tight end for the Chicago Bears, and Dave Wannstedt was saying that one of the things he wants to do in his game plan is get the ball more to his tight end. And, you know, he's 6'4", 260 pounds, so he's a real good blocker, and he's a big target out there, but they haven't been looking towards him much, and that's one thing that he wants Erik Kramer to do a little more of.
From Oklahoma is Mays. 3rd down conversions. They are 10th in the NFL. Cowboys show him blitz, and here they come. Kramer down at the 20. Kevin Mathis was the first man there, along with Randall Godfrey.
Yeah, and he comes from that backside, and you're going to see it come from right here. Erik Kramer doesn't see it, nor does he feel it. You see the backside pressure. It's a 3-man line. You see right here, he just gets right by the tackle. Erik Kramer was looking to his right, and he got hit from his backside.
They'll try to kick it away from Deion Sanders, as most teams usually do, and Mike Horan is successful. Let's look at the Dallas offense, led by Jason Garrett. And Jason has been outstanding in relief of Troy Aikman. The Cowboys get a bye next week, and there's hope that Aikman will be back after that, but Garrett has played extremely well. So has this offensive line: Larry Allen, Newton, Shiver, Flozell Adams, the rookie, and Eric Williams. Emmett Smith, Darrell Johnson, the 2 running backs, Ernie Mills, Michael Irvin, and David LaFleur, the tight ends. 2 tight ends on their first offensive set, and the lone setback is Emmett Smith. That's Bjornsson on the move. And here's Garrett back to throw it. And Michael Irvin gets a Dallas first down in Bear territory at about their 43. Here's the Bear defense. Leary, Wells, Flanagan, and Sean Lee starts at defensive end. Harris, Minter, and Ricardo McDonald are the linebackers. And the secondary: Harris, Parrish, Marty Carter, and Terry Cousins. They really like Tony Parrish.
Yeah, and Michael Irvin catching that pass. That was his 700th career reception. But it was also that pattern we were talking about.
Yep. Here's Emmett Smith. Emmett cut down at the line of scrimmage by Jim Flanagan. That 700 catch number 700 puts him in elite company, doesn't it?
Well, you look at the top guys there, and that's gonna push him past Gary Clark, who, remember, for the Washington Redskins was always one of my favorites. There you see Chris Carter 6, Lofton, Fryer, Joyner, and now Michael Irvin is number 10, replacing Gary Clark.
That's a group to join, a very select group. Here comes Emmitt Smith again to the outside. He said, Shane Gailey did, that the Cowboys were going to try to run outside, and they have tried a couple of times without success. Sean Harris brought him down.
Yeah, and that's not one of Emmitt Smith's strengths. You know, over the years, Emmitt Smith he doesn't have a great deal of speed, and the thing that he does best is that inside running. You see Todd Perry, the starting left guard for the Bears, going off. That can be a big loss because that's the guy or the position that has to block Leon left.
And he's their best offensive lineman. 4 wide receivers, including Deion Sanders, on this setup. Whistles blow as the flag comes down. Officiating crew today, Larry Nimmers, the referee.
Ball start, offense, number 85, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
This is when the Cowboys go 4 wide receivers with Deion Sanders, they call that 2-14. 21 plus 4 wide receivers. You see Deion is here, then there's 3 wide receivers up there. So it's 21 and 4 wide receivers is what it is.
It'll be 3rd and 16.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Here's Deion right down here. The other 3 on the other side.
Chris Warren is in the backfield in place of Emmitt Smith. Garrett has a lot of time. All he needs. Gets the pass complete to Ernie Mills, shy of a first down at the Bear 40, and they'll have to punt.
And Garrett had all the time that he wanted, because you can see the Bears are using just a 3-man rush. Their idea is to have 3-men rush. In fact, they only really bring 2 men.
Yeah.
So then they can get back and defend with 9, thinking that Jason Garrett will have to hold the ball longer. That time, the coverage did its job.
And he held the ball as long as he wanted to. Toby going back to punt.
The 2-man rush, you usually will be able to hold the ball as long as you want.
You will, won't you? Goins punted down to about the 11-yard line. Deion Sanders, Dexter Coakley was the man down to ground the punt. So the Bears take over at their own 10. Excuse me.
I was just going to say, but when you think of how many plays a guy plays, I'll bet you that Deion Sanders plays in a football game more than anyone else, because you start off that he takes all the defensive plays,
right?
He does all the punt returning, and now I would say that they're trying to get him more involved in the offense, and every time they get 3rd and long, they go to a form of shotgun and 4 wide receivers, and Deion Sanders is getting to be a bigger and bigger part of that.
And then, of course, as you pointed out, he has to stay in on defense. He goes out with Conway. He'll follow him all day. That's Edgar Bennett. The ex-Packer loses the ball. The Cowboys say we got it.
We're just talking about turnovers and the thing that have killed the Chicago Bears, and lo and behold, with 10 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the first quarter, they have their first one.
Randall Godfrey comes up with it. I'd like to welcome those of you who watched Atlanta defeat New Orleans as they continue to play well to Soldier Field, Chicago, where the Bears just turned it over again.
You're going to see it right there. Edgar Bennett going into the hole. You see, just as once you get in that line of scrimmage and you're having all those white jerseys from the opponents surrounding you, you have to get that second hand over the ball and lock it up. He kept it out in his left hand and got it knocked out.
1st and 10, Cowboys from the 14 of the Bears. Jason Garrett back to throw it. And the rush gets him. Mike Wells. A flag on the play.
Hey, Jason Garrett didn't have a very deep drop on it.
There's no intentional grounding on the play. Second down.
Because that rush got there about the same time that he planted that 3rd step.
Perry. You saw a moment ago, number 75 headed for the locker room. A bruised left shin. He's in for x-rays. 2nd and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys.
If there's any place to really get a rush against this Cowboy team, it's right up the middle against the center there, Clay Schreiber.
This is Emmitt Smith. Bounces to the outside, and Emmitt Smith bounces down for a Dallas first down. Inside the 5, Terry Cousin knocked him out of bounds.
You know, and this is the way that Emmitt Smith runs to the outside the best. You watch him here. This isn't an outside run. He starts in here an inside run. Boom, he gets hit and then just bounces it to the outside. Over the years, Emmitt Smith has had more success getting to the outside this way. Starting in the middle, there's nothing there, no one tackles him. Just bounce it and outrun everyone to the outside.
1st and goal at the 3. Emmitt Smith behind Moose Johnson, and Moose moves in front of him. And Emmitt tries to take it to the outside again. Not much.
Well, on that one he couldn't because of strong safeties up there. That's the one time when you go strong side, and this is the thing that the Bears are doing with Curtis Enos. When you go strong side and there's a safety up right here, you cannot bounce it to the outside. Emmitt Smith was trying to get a face mask penalty called there against Marty Carter.
It was close.
Well, he did. It's there. I mean, it is a truism, but that's the point. You can't bounce out on that strong side when the strong safety's up there.
Darrell Johnson hit right at the goal line. He was close when he was hit hard and driven back.
Yeah, well, that's the old decoy. I mean,
yeah.
Moose Johnston, we know over the years, is number 1, he's a blocker. Number 2, he's a receiver. But you hardly ever slip him the ball. And everyone's looking right here at Emmitt Smith, and they think that Emmitt Smith is going to get the ball. And boom, they just hang it right down on a sucker play to Moose Johnston. He darn near got it in there.
He was hit right at the goal line, about a half-yard short. Same setup, Johnston in front of Emmitt Smith. This time it probably will be Smith. And a flag on the play.
I think someone on the Cowboys jumped early.
What was it, 2 years ago when Emmitt Smith was injured?
Prior to the snap, full start, 76 offense, 5 yards, 3rd down.
Right, and it was in this end zone. It was going this way, right in this very end zone. They landed on his head. Watch it. It's Flozell Adams. He's the right guard. You see him right there? He just had a little tough time holding it. He went a half a count early.
3rd and goal at the 6th then.
Now this becomes a passing situation.
Has to be. See if they blitz. Nope. The pass was intended for Michael Irvin, and the Bear defensive back just took it away from him.
That was Walt Harris. He was right there with him, and they got 4 hands up there, and the 2 of Harris's came out with it.
Yeah.
That looked like it was going to be a touchdown, but it's just that this is the thing that Jason Garrett does real well, is throw that touch fade. He throws it. Michael Irvin has it in his hands, and Walt Harris just takes it out of his hand.
Bounced off his shoulder pad just a little bit.
Well, he was ruled as an incomplete pass. I think when Harris got control of it, if he did, he was out of bounds.
So Richie Cunningham hits the field goal and puts the Cowboys ahead by 3-0. And again, the Bears' turnover leads to the Dallas field goal.
Let's watch this play again. You'll see Michael Irvin doesn't have control of it. When Walt Harris, number 27, gets control of it, right there, his foot is out of bounds. That's why it wasn't a touchdown. That's why it wasn't an interception, like Dave Wanstead thought it was an interception.
Toby Goin kicks off. Short kick. Fielded by Robert Chancey.
I think he fumbled.
He did. And the Cowboys have it again. No, the Bears have it. The official pointed one direction. Now he points in Bears' direction.
Well, the ex-Dallas Cowboy number 59 there is Jim Schwantz, who ended up with it. Schwantz is the guy that threw it down, but that was a heck of a collision on that kickoff.
It really was. The Cowboys lead the Bears 3-0. We're in the first quarter. 7:40 left.
Watch this hit here. We said collision. It's Darren Hambrick, number 54, right there. Makes a heck of a hit. The ball bounces out, but the Chicago Bears come up with it.
And the Bears are lucky that wasn't another one of those turnovers. The handoff is to Edgar Bennett, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage by Leon Lett.
And we talked about if you're going to get someone in that front four of the Cowboys block, it better be Leon Lett, because he's the most dominant player in that group. And we know that wherever he lines up, he is going to be the first one across, and he's going to be the guy that gets penetration. Of course, the Bears have a little problem in that Todd Perry, their starting left guard, who would normally block Leon Lett, isn't in there now.
Owen Troops has taken his place.
He's a rookie backup center.
Right. The Bears think he's going to be a very good player. Kramer goes down. He couldn't get the ball out of there. I think, again, it was Leon Lett who stood between him and the receiver, and he couldn't see over it.
The Cowboys have a new defense this year in that they play Leon Lett and Kavika Pittman and Dexter Coakley. They always play the weak side. See, here's the strong side, the side of the tight end. Now, on that side is Chad Hennings, Greg Ellis, and Randall Godfrey. So if you're strong to the left as you look at it defensively, then that group will play that way. If you go strong the other way, then they flop over.
3 wide receivers set up for the Bears on 3rd and 10. 3rd and 11 make it. Cowboys showing blitz. And Kramer has the ball batted backwards again as the Cowboys were all over it. Kavika Pittman, Leon Lett, and almost all the rest of the front group.
Those are the two guys that we said. Here's Leon Lett. Here's Kavika Pittman. They're going to be. They're the speed and the rushers. And even Erik Kramer noticed that. You see, he pointed to Leon Lett. He said, "Let's get these guys blocked." And then here comes the pressure right from that side.
Mike Horan's kick out of bounds at about the Dallas 27. 26 make it where the Cowboys take over. It'll be 1st and 10 Dallas when we come back.
Here, watch this. And here's the problem that Erik Kramer has is finding a lane because he gets so many balls batted down. If we can stop it right here, here's what he's looking at, and you see that he's trying to throw, and Chad Hennings, it just takes away that passing lane.
Here comes Ernie Mills, the reverse. Close to the 30. There's Chad Hennings, who just batted that ball down.
Yeah, he really had the pressure on that side. It was Kavika Pittman, Leon Lett coming from that backside, and then Chad Hennings with his power rush straight up the middle. And I think that's one thing that Erik Kramer is susceptible to, is batting the balls down. He's not a tall quarterback. He doesn't have a lot of mobility, and he can't move just enough, just a little, to find those passing lanes.
He's 6'1". Those guys are 6'6" at least. Emmett Smith. Emmett first down. Dallas knocked out of bounds in front of the Bear bench by Mike Wells.
Jason Garrett had a heck of a time getting that ball to Emmett Smith. Watch how they call the plays here. Here's Chan Gailey. He's the head coach. He calls the plays. He gives it to Buddy Geis. And then Buddy Geis calls it in a number to Jason Garrett. Now, Jason Garrett has all the plays on his wrist. He has 60 plays, 30 on each wrist. They give him the number. He reads the number off the wristband and then calls that play that is the corresponding play to the number called by the coach.
First and 10. Outside to Moose Johnston. He is taken down after a gain of about a yard by Sean Harris.
See, here it is right here. You see on the left-hand side, Chan Gailey talks it. Buddy Geis is going to send it in. You see, he's talking right now to Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett looks at his left wrist, plays on the left side, calls it in the huddle, him calling the huddle, and then he'll also, after he calls the play, then he gives the snap count.
Nope. 2 tight end lineup this time for Dallas. 4 minutes, 15 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Cowboys leading 3-0. Jason Garrett outside to Billy Davis. Close to a first down, but about 2 yards short.
Yeah, it's interesting, Pat, as we watch this, we see a signal here. So Buddy Geis is here, and he is talking to Jason Garrett with the play. They're also signaling the play in, and that's the backup in case it doesn't work. You know, if the sound thing in the headset doesn't work, then
Which
they
happens.
go. Then they go to the signal. So he gets a signal plus the word in his helmet. Then he goes to the wristband.
3rd and 2. Emmett Smith's deep. Jason Garrett sprint out, fakes. Upfield incomplete. Threw it away.
That's not one of Jason Garrett's strengths is running with the ball or throwing on the run. You think of Jason Garrett, you think that he might be a scrambler and a runner, but he's not at all. He is not a mobile quarterback. He's a timing quarterback, doesn't have a strong arm, but does know when and where to throw it, usually.
And that's one of his strengths, not the sprint out, but throwing it out of bounds. That was where to throw it.
Jason Garrett doesn't do dumb things.
No. He'll be going to punt. Good kick. Bearcat signal made by Glenn Milburn just inside the Bear 10, where the Chicago Bears take over with Dallas leading 3-0. Oh. One of the more impressive skylines in the country. Soldier Field nearby downtown. The home of the Bears.
This is always one of the great places to come, isn't it? When you think of football, Soldier Field, Chicago, Monsters of the Midway, George Halas. Now we're talking.
Edgar Bennett. A couple of yards.
Yeah, you just watch. They haven't thrown at Deion Sanders, and you kind of see why. I mean, he is so quick, and he just gets up on his guy and just, you talk about putting a blanket on a guy. I mean, Deion Sanders is a permanent blanket. And so I think that obviously they don't throw over there where Deion is. I don't even think they look over there anymore.
If they throw, it's a mistake. Here, straight ahead, Robert Chancey. They have high hopes for this guy, and he's a big guy, too.
Well, you know why there was no safety there? Because the safety blitzes to the outside. And then if there's no safety there, if you can get by that front line, you're going to get a first down. And that's exactly what happens there. You're going to see Omar Stoudemire, you see him here. He's going to come blitz to the outside. Now there's no linebacker in there, so he is going to run that thing straight to the next safety, which was Darren Woodson.
Kramer back to throw, going deep. He got a man open. Ingram off his fingertips.
Oh, and that's what he has to do, and that's the guy that they have to work on too. You talk about a guy that's playing in this league now without confidence, and that's Kevin Smith. And we said earlier that the Bears have to come and they have to go aggressively against this defense. They have to throw deep, and when you're going to throw deep, you have to throw deep on Kevin Smith. And that's where, because we talk about not going to Deion, then the guy that you go away from Deion is the other corner. And Kevin Smith, and even Chan Gailey said that last night, that Kevin Smith is playing now without a heck of a lot of confidence.
Gotta hurry. Just got the play off. They didn't get the play off.
He didn't hear you.
Erik Kramer played with the Lions before he came here.
5 yards, still second down.
We'll see some of this guy. He was the 5th player taken in last year's draft. Curtis Enos from Penn State. The rookie, they have high hopes for him.
Hey, I saw him in college at Penn State, and I saw a tape of the top 20 players in the draft.
Yeah.
To be honest, I thought at his position he was the best player.
Conway comes in motion. That's Edgar Bennett, the ex-Packer. Flag on the play.
That was a free play. That was a hard count, and he got the Cowboys to jump. And that's the one that when you do get the other team to jump on your hard count, you kind of hope that you have a pass play call so you can just throw one up there.
Offside, number 97, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
What happens here when you play on grass, and as you said earlier, Pat, that it rained all day yesterday, and this is like a pit stop here where one guy takes the cleats off and another guy puts the cleats on.
Yeah.
We usually on a heavy field like this, it's taking off shorter ones and putting on longer ones.
Outside of Chansey. Short of the first down, knocked out by Fred Strickland. Remember the old cleat wrenches?
And you know, we talk about the different sizes. If you have a hard field, you like a 1/2-inch cleat. And then if you're kind of in the middle, you use the 5/8 inch. And then for a soft field, you use the longer 3/4 inch. Anything longer than that is illegal. That's 3/4 inch.
Todd Perry back in the Bear lineup.
Blue, pick 200 Denver! Blue, pick 200 Denver!
200 Denver.
Yep. Brian Wetnight, the pass receiving tight end of the Bears, makes that reception, and that's enough for a first down.
Yep, and he only needed a 1/2 yard, and it was probably a running play. And he saw that coverage and knew that he could throw that slant in there to Wetnight for enough for the first down.
Denver.
Yeah, Denver 200. That was the old Denver 200, which means everyone slants, and he's just going to pick it and, you know, hit it on that third step.
Erik Kramer has a first down to work with. Reverse coming to Conway. The Cowboys had it read pretty well. Chad Hennings out to make the stop.
I'm surprised that they run a reverse to Curtis Conway. In fact, he's taken himself out now here. He has a groin pull, and I heard him say this last week that he's not playing at full speed, that he thinks that he's playing at 75%. And you know that those groin pulls are tough because, like he says, you know, you watch him, he's walking, he looks okay, everything, but you just can't go full speed.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score: the Cowboys 3, the Bears 0. Fox NFL Sunday will continue at over Chicago. Start of the second quarter. Erik Kramer and the Bears, 2nd down and 6. Cowboys jump again. That was the big cat.
Well, we know that
two big cats.
Yeah, well, we got a big cat on offense, James Williams, a big cat on defense, Leon Lett.
Encroachment on the defense, number 78. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
You know, he gets off there so quickly, Leon Lett, that you have to wonder how he does it, that he just can't always watch the ball, that there has to be a little anticipation. You know, and you always teach that guy to watch that ball, and he's right there. He should move in the ball, but sometimes he moves, you know, simultaneously with that ball.
Erik Kramer gave him a little head bob then, pulled him. Handoff is to Edgar Bennett.
And Omar Stoutmeyer, the free safety, was on a blitz that time, and they almost got by it, but they didn't. And as Stoutmeyer blitzed on the right side, and he gets in there, and it just makes that play. Watch him. He's going to come up here, right here. See, here he is right there, and he comes and makes that play from the backside. Earlier, they hit him, and they gashed him on one of those safety blitzes. That time, Stoutmeyer made the play.
Right, 98!
First down, Chicago.
98!
Bennett. Time for a cleat change. He tried to make a cut.
Yeah, it looks like Edgar Bennett is having trouble. He had trouble holding on to the ball. You know, he's already fumbled one. And that's the 2nd or 3rd time that he's slipped so far.
Milburn, who is the pass receiver out of the backfield, checks in. 2nd and 10. When Milburn came up with Denver, went to Detroit, now here.
White 98! White 98! Hot, hot!
4-man rush this time. Kramer just gets it out of there. Intended for and caught by Milburn.
And we look at the first 15 plays of Chicago, and they had 8 runs, 7 passes. Of their runs, they ran 6 of them to the inside, 2 to the outside. And this is a big thing now in first 15 plays. They had 13 different formations.
Yeah.
out of 15 formations, 13 of them were different, and you want to do that early in the game to get your looks, get your pictures to see how they're going to adjust.
3 wide receivers. Kramer gets the ball to Bennett. And Bennett crosses the 40.
That was kind of a give-up call, wasn't it? I wonder where that one came from. The pass protection hasn't been that bad. At 3rd and 5 or 6, you would think that, with that kind of field position, that you would have enough confidence to throw the ball, because just running in there off tackle isn't going to get you a first down against this Cowboy defense.
Mike Horan back to punt. Todd Sauerbrunn, their regular punter, hurt his leg. Horan, directional kicking.
Look at Horan run down there. Horan's going to run down there to get a spot, too.
Yep.
I think over the years, he's been in this league for 15 years. And I'll tell you, I don't know in those 15 years there's a guy that does directional kicking a lot better than Mike Horan.
Heck of a play by Frankie Smith, who batted it backwards. Here's that touchback a moment ago.
Yeah, you're going to see Frankie Smith right there. His foot steps on the goal line and then into the end zone before he tips that ball out of there.
So as a result, the Cowboys will start from the 20 instead of the 1.
Like during that whole time out there, Dave Wanstead and Mike Horan were right there arguing with the official on that, but that was a good call.
It was a good call.
Frankie Smith was on the line, and then even after being on the line, he was in the end zone.
2 tight ends. Emmitt Smith, the running back. Jason Garrett outside to Irvin. Gain 9.
One thing that we talked about the cleats and the heaviness of the field, and the other thing that you always have to think about when you play here at Soldier Field is the wind.
Yeah.
I think if you had a strong-arm quarterback like Troy Aikman, you wouldn't even think or worry about it. But with the Jason Garrett, that could affect his throwing, although I haven't seen it yet. But, he's not that strong-arm guy.
He hasn't thrown a pass that it would affect that much. One of those fades like he threw last week. Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt breaks into the secondary. Outside the 40.
He's getting right in there behind big Eric Williams, and he's been doing that for a few years and doing very well. Look at the Cowboys' first 15 plays. 7 runs, 8 passes. Now, they ran 2 inside and 5 outside. That's what Chan Gailey said that they were going to do, is try and run more outside early. But look at that.
14.
Out of 15 plays, they ran 14 different formations. That's Chan Gailey's offense.
Emmitt Smith just gained 14 on that last carry. Garrett. Irvin again. That's his 3rd reception.
Now that pass was to the right, and watch the backside Larry Allen, and just the way that he passed. I mean, he is so big and so strong and has such a great punch that when he hits you, you just go down. I mean, it's not like, he gets a little bump, a little bump, a little bump. He just kind of screws you right into the grass.
Right, Tom, right.
I tell you what, we talked with him last night. He was wearing a tank top.
Biggest arms I have ever seen in my life. They look like 2 legs hanging off his shoulders.
Here's Emmitt Smith, and he got some room to the outside this time and got another Cowboy first down. Yesterday, we talked to Larry Allen about his punching technique.
Punch him good enough, it stuns him. And that's like a big part of my game. It's physical, punching a guy like 50 times a game, wear on him. And that's what I try to do.
I don't have much desire to be punched by him 50 times a game.
50 times a game, I'll guarantee you to wear on you. You know what he bench pressed, and I've never heard of this before. He bench pressed 600 pounds.
That's unbelievable.
So that punch has some stuff behind it.
Yes, it does. Here's the rollout for Garrett. Got a man open. Erik Bjornsson, and Bjornsson is inside the 10 and out of bounds at about the 7. About the 10, make it.
That's one of Chan Gailey's plays. He always has some kind of trick. That was a roll right and throw back. You're going to see Garrett is going to roll out here to the right. You see, draw the defense over, stop, set up, throw back across the field. That was organized. Erik Bjornsson is wide open.
Nobody close.
But you see, when he started that way and he pulled the line and they just kind of slid the whole line to the right, that drew the Bear defense to the right, and then he threw it across the field against the grain.
Dallas just called a timeout at the 10-yard line. The Cowboys threatening. They already lead 3-0. Has the ball after a 34-yard pass completion from Jason Garrett to Erik Bjornsson, the longest catch of Bjornsson's career.
That was a different way to throw deep. You know, roll right, throw back to your tight end running a corner pattern on the other side.
Here's Garrett rolling out, looking and throwing high and out of the end zone to the floor.
Yeah, which is really a good throw because you get to that point and you have to throw the ball because you're not going to take a sack or a loss, and you throw it up there in the back of the end zone where either David LaFleur, your guy, is going to catch it or no one is going to catch it because it was first down. There's no way when you get down inside the 20 and you're on first down that you ever want to force it in here.
LaFleur about 6'7", 6'8", much taller than any of the Bear defensive backs.
It really hasn't helped this team much as a pass receiver, but it has helped the team as a blocker.
Billy Davis on the move, and Emmitt Smith gets a carry, and he gets nothing. Met hard by Sean Lee and John Theory.
We were just talking about David LaFleur and how good a blocker he is, and Larry Allen, and Emmitt Smith tried to cut back towards those guys. Watch them right here, and they get the penetration. LaFleur doesn't get that block. Emmitt Smith cuts back right into the block where LaFleur missed.
Larry Allen's, the man he was trying to block, disappeared from the screen. Third and goal at the 11.
Sean Lee was the guy that LaFleur was trying to block who didn't disappear.
Deion Sanders in on offense.
This is 5 wide receivers now, 2 out here and 3 down here, and they have to take timeout.
That's a Dallas timeout. That's their second, so they have only 1 left for this half. Back at Soldier Field in Chicago, the Cowboys 3, the Bears nothing. 8:18 left in the first half. Been a tough year for that man, Dave Wanstead. Been a tough 2 years for him, really.
Cowboys are keeping Chris Warren in the backfield now. The last time they had 5 guys out in an empty backfield. Now they have 4 wide receivers.
Pass across the middle to Ernie Mills, caught. But they'll have to send field goal unit on the field.
Now that was one that Jason Garrett had to think that Ernie Mills was going to catch that one, break a tackle, and run it in. I'm always a firm believer that when you get down there and it's 3rd down,
you got to throw it in the end zone.
Take a shot in the end zone, and then if you don't get the touchdown, then you kick your field goal, but don't take a shot short because you complete it and have to kick the field goal anyway.
Cunningham to try from another 23-yarder. He hit one of these. He's hit 2 of these. And it's 6-0 Cowboys. Richie Cunningham 2 for 2, and Dallas leads 6-0. 6-0 the Cowboys over the Bears. Shadow of the press box side of Soldier Field. About halfway across the field now as Toby Goin gets ready to kick off for Dallas. They lead 6-0, 7:38 left in the first half. Short kick. Milburn will return from the 5. Got some room. Flag on the play. 2 flags on the play. Darren Woodson down to make the stop.
Yep, there's that hidden yardage we were talking about last week that you always wonder about. You know, you don't see. I mean, you see the return, And then there's so many
During the
penalties on return.
Holding, number 59 Bears, 10 yards, first down.
Larry Nimmers, Jim Schwantz.
And you're going to see Schwantz right there, number 59, right in the middle of the picture. You see his hand right there, that right hand. He puts it there. Had he taken it off, he would have had a chance. But he not only kept the right hand, he put the left hand on in there. I think Curtis Enos is in the game now, which
yes, he is.
To me would be about time.
Yes, he is. He's deep. Conway moves in motion. And Curtis Enos gets the first carry and gets nothing.
You better block Leon Lett.
Yep. Last night in the World Series, the Padres jumped out to the early lead, but the Yankees came back in grand fashion to win game number 1. Don't miss how the drama unfolds tonight with game 2 of the World Series. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Fox. What Chicago Bears Hall of Famer also played baseball for the New York Yankees?
Not only played baseball, he played right field for the Yankees.
Yes, before Babe Ruth. Curtis Enos make it. Right now for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown at the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles.
Pat and John, so much talk about the diminutive Doug Flutie making his first NFL start since '89. He guides Buffalo over previously undefeated Jacksonville. Boy, Buffalo's now won 3 straight, only 2 undefeated teams, Minnesota and Denver. Back to Pat and John.
Gosh, Doug Flutie used to play here for the Bears. Remember that?
Yeah, when Mike Ditka was here. And, you know, Doug Flutie's done a lot of amazing things over his career. And I think at some point you have to say, hey, that doesn't surprise me.
You have to say, hey. They used to say, hey, what's he doing playing in the NFL? And now, after all those outstanding years in Canada, he's come back to lead Buffalo.
Delay game, offense, half the distance.
Bears took too much time.
Yeah, see, they've had that terrible field position. They finally put Curtis Enos in and tried to run twice, and they didn't get Leon Lett blocked. And now they got that 3rd and long in a bad field position. And this is tough, and especially in a game with a team that you haven't hit a wide receiver yet. Erik Kramer has not completed a pass to one of his wide receivers.
They got 3 of them in the game now, and Kramer goes back into the end zone and quickly fires well behind Chris Penn, trying to hit one of those wide receivers, but no chance.
Yeah, he anticipated a rush there. I mean, his drop was way too quick. He was ready way too quickly, and he threw the ball too quick, and nothing had a chance on that one. He anticipated something that didn't happen, and now Mike Horan is going to have to get the ball to Deion Sanders, and he knows it.
Deion looked up at the sky. The ball bounces in his direction, and he's going to get a chance. But good coverage by the Bears. Ty Hallock takes him down. Ty Hallock from Detroit, then to Jacksonville, and now to the Bears. And as you pointed out, we expect and usually aren't surprised by a lot of wind. And that was in the forecast today, but it's not that strong. Not as strong as certainly we have seen it here.
I'll tell you, I think a little wind combined with a heavy field and has made this a rather conservative offensive game, especially by the Bears.
Emmett Smith straight ahead to the Bear 45.
And we were talking before the game that, you know, the Bears coming off an 8-turnover game, and you have to eliminate those turnovers, but I really believe you have to eliminate them by playing aggressively, not by being so conservative you don't do anything. And I have the feeling in this first half that the Bear offense has gotten so conservative, they're afraid of turnovers, so they're afraid of doing anything, and therefore they're doing nothing.
They look timid almost. 6-0 Dallas leading. They're showing blitz this time. Smith leaves the ball and gets on top of it, I believe.
Look at number 79, big Eric Williams there. That was going to be a toss, one of those runs they were trying to get to the outside. Eric Williams did have his guy hooked. Eric Williams is so big and so strong that he not only hooks him, he tries to finish him off. But just watch here. They're going to try and get out here. Now, this is what you call hooking a guy. You get outside him and then keep him to your inside. And if Smith gotten the ball, you're right, he had him.
Full wide receiver set up for Dallas.
Bears are in a 3-man line, rushing 2.
Jason Garrett just firing deep. The Deion Sanders double covered.
That was the Bears' plan on that 3rd and long, is what they wanted to do was cover. In fact, they're covering with 9. You're going to see the double coverage here. In fact, they run a guy out underneath short. They have one deep, then they're going to bring another one over deep. Marty Carter is the second guy coming over deep, and he's the guy that knocks the ball away from Deion Sanders. But the Bears only used on that play a 2-man rush. Started out looking like a 3-man rush and dropped one of their linemen out. So they rushed with 2 and defended with 9.
Toby Goins' 3rd punt coming up. Line driver, this is over the head of Milburn into the end zone. Just barely, or did it? Ends at 7:30. That's Eastern time, 4:30 Pacific on Fox. What Chicago Bear Hall of Famer play baseball for the New York Yankees?
I wonder if David Wells knows that answer, because he's a big Babe Ruth fan, and he's also a big Yankee fan, and he knows history.
The father of the Bears, George Hallis, is the Yankee right fielder. Curtis Enos bangs straight ahead.
Yeah, George Hallis was the right fielder of the Yankees before Babe Ruth was the right fielder of the Yankees. And then he said enough of this baseball, and he came and started a football team and a football league. And I'll tell you, sometimes when you think of where we are today and what the league is and the game, you wonder if it weren't for George Hallis and some of those people, where we would all be today.
And that's the truth.
We have to be very, very thankful to those men.
Kramer hits Chris Penn for a Bear first down.
And that's what the Bears, and that's what they have to do. And I think that's the first wide receiver that's caught a ball. And
yes, it is.
The first thing, if you're going to do that, you have to get Leon let block. You can't let him get that penetration and get to your quarterback right now. And you see, Chris Valerio does a nice job. He just got him on that short set and kept Leon Lett right there in the line of scrimmage.
First down, Bears, a gain of 17 yards. Enos. The fake from Kramer. He's going deep. They're going across. The ball went right through the hands of Bobby Ingram. I don't know if he lost it or what happened. It just went right through his arm.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes those receivers don't see the ball coming out of there, and he's coming out of his break as the ball is coming out of there, and sometimes you see it come out, sometimes you see it midway, as it's toward you, and sometimes you don't see it until it's right upon you. And I don't think Bobby Ingram saw that one until it was right upon him.
Didn't even get his hands up in any way.
Maybe he saw it when it was beyond him, when it passed upon him.
2nd and 10. Ingram goes in motion. Flag on the play. Curtis Enos gets the carry.
That's
near
moving
midfield.
all over the place there. Dave Wanstead was saying that at some point Curtis Enos is going to get it.
Defense, offside, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Curtis Enos is going to get it, and then once he gets it, he's going to keep it.
And he's going to keep on getting it.
And he's just waiting for him to have that game where he says, okay, I'm not at Penn State anymore. I'm not a college player anymore. I'm a pro running back. And then when he said when he gets there, he said he'll be a starter and he'll play for the Bears for a long time.
He's deceiving how big he is. He doesn't look as much as he weighs.
Well, he says he weighs 241 pounds now, and he lost 7 pounds.
Yeah. Hard running by Curtis Enos.
I remember the first time I saw him. He was a sophomore at Penn State, and he was playing USC. And that's just one of the greatest backs I've ever seen in my life.
You can imagine with his speed and his ability. And weighing as much as he does, he could be lethal. Visa halftime report. JB and Terry will have a World Series Game 2 preview. And our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report. It's a Bear first down at the Dallas 47. Kramer back to throw it. What a catch by Conway. The ball came flying loose, but I think they're saying incomplete. Conway still down.
I tell you, and Erik Kramer had good pass protection on that. He got a little help from Curtis Enos. Watch the block in there. See Curtis Enos. He blocks Leon Lett. He throws the ball in there to double coverage, and it looks like Conway got hit right in the back. Watch what Curtis Enos does right there. He blocks Leon Lett, and that gives Erik Kramer the time to wait and step up and throw the ball. I don't know that wasn't a catch, though.
Looked like it was a long time before the ball came out of there. He's hit by Kenny Wheaton while he's up in the air.
See, here it is right here. And you see now he has to catch it and come down with both feet. He never does get down with both feet. It looked like he did have it and then just kind of gave it up. Yeah, I mean, that looked like he caught that ball and had it and then just let go of it there.
Fabian Bones has taken his place.
Maybe he got the wind knocked out of him, Curtis Conway, and just didn't care anymore about where the ball was.
Big E's listening to the music.
He got his knees. Yeah, his music, is that what he was doing?
He was on the beat.
On a cooler day like today, I think they like that sunny side.
Yeah.
Sunny side of the street.
Cowboys showing blitz.
And they're coming on a blitz.
And they swarm on Curtis Enos. Before he can get back to the line of scrimmage, Chad Hennings was the leading force there first.
You know, with that blitz, the Cowboys had 9 guys up there. I mean, if you look the whole thing here, there's no way that you can run into that. I mean, that's the thing you have to hope that you have a pass and you get a pass protected. Because there's no holes there, there's no lanes there, there's no cracks there, there's no bounce outs there. There's nothing there.
It's a Bear timeout.
9 Cowboys on that defense.
Coming up again, a reminder on the Visa halftime report. JB and Terry will have a World Series Game 2 preview. And our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report. And Gailey. Dave Wanstead.
The Bears have 3rd and 12 at the Dallas 29.
6-0 Cowboys leading the Bears. Each team has 1 timeout left. Less than 2. Kramer to throw. Incomplete. Darren Woodson covering Bobby Ingram.
He had nothing there. I mean, I think Erik Kramer had to throw that one away. He was looking deep. Deion Sanders had the deep coverage on Curtis Conway, and then he was trying to throw it underneath, but the underneath guy that he was trying to throw to was double covered. So it was either you throw single coverage against Deion Sanders, or do you throw into double coverage? He threw into double coverage.
Moran's kick away from Deion. He came back and signaled fair catch and made it.
Now you look at Dallas, and they've been moving the ball, it seems like, all day, and then they get down in the red zone and haven't been able to make it. Moose Johnston got there, and then they had that play. And you remember this one in the second quarter? Great defense by the Bears there. And here they threw short on the 3rd down. So they've gotten down there. They've moved the ball up and down the field, but either they've tightened up a little when they've gotten inside the red zone, or the Bear defense has tightened up a little, or a combination of both.
Chris Warren's the deep back. 1st and 10 Dallas at their own 15, a minute and a half left in the first half, and the fumble came loose. And Chris Warren got it. Miraculously got it. Theory had a chance. Tried to pick it up and run into the end zone with it and lost it.
I think if Theory would have just fallen on the ball, Theory is number 91, and if he just falls on the ball, it's going to be the Bears' ball right there. Look, he has it right there, and he tries to pick it up and run it in. I mean, if he just falls on it, the Bears have the ball there. This is, you know, Erik Kramer said it yesterday, and you just said it now. He said he thinks that the Bears lead the league in weird things, and there was a weird thing.
Garrett gets to Warren. Warren gets out to about the 4.
Well, John Theory's going to wonder about that one, you know, and his teammates are going to wonder about that one. And, you know, at one point you say, you know, and he knows he's frustrated now. He's trying to make something happen. He's trying to score a touchdown. He's trying to, you know, help the Bears win. So you have that on one hand, and then the other hand, if you fall on it, the offense can score it for you.
Next week on Fox NFL Sunday, the Minnesota Vikings will head to Motown, where Barry Sanders and the Lions look to run wild and get back into playoff contention. Plus other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox. So check your local listing.
Yeah, you talk about Barry Sanders and the Lions getting back into contention. They looked like on Thursday night against the Green Bay Packers that they were getting himself back into contention.
How about Charlie Batch?
Charlie Batch looks very, very comfortable. You know, not only, you know, it's easy to say for a rookie, but he looks very, very comfortable for a backup quarterback playing. Forget the rookie.
The Bears call this timeout, so they're out of timeouts. They can't stop the clock again. So the Cowboys just kneel on it. We'll try to let things run out after that near miss by Chicago's John Theory.
You know, the Cowboys have been trying to get outside, and they've been pitching, and some of those things have caused some problems. And I wouldn't be surprised if Chan Gailey says at halftime, the heck with that pitching, let's just keep the ball to handoffs.
Curtis Enos headed for the Bear locker room. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Dallas Cowboys 6, the Bears nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with JB, Terry, and the Visa halftime report after these messages. A word from your local station. Those of you that are logged onto the internet while watching our game, you can participate by logging on to foxsports.com. This week's You Call It, which team, the Cowboys or the Bears, will score last in the second half of today's game? Join us on the internet. Log on to foxsports.com, and we wish you good luck. This week's Ask the Pros question from Jeff Crutcher in Bozeman, Montana. Can the Dallas Cowboys win their division and be a force in the playoffs?
I think yes on both. I say that, but I also say it's premature. This is the 7th game the Cowboys have played. They're 4-2. They get a bye after this week. I think that right now, as we go into this game, they're the best team in their division. So if you win your division, you're in the playoffs, so they can get in the playoffs. And I think they would have a chance if they continued to improve during the year. I think they'd have a chance in the playoffs, mainly because they will be better. But the other thing is, there's really not right now a dominant team in the NFC.
And the Cowboys do seem to be getting better week by week.
Yeah, and you have to remember that they're going to get Troy Aikman back, and that's a big thing. I mean, Jason Garrett has done a nice job, and he's a nice quarterback, but that's not Troy Aikman. And I think that's one of the things that these Cowboys and their coach Chan Gailey are waiting for. Now, next week, as I said, the Dallas Cowboys have a bye, and then they play the Philadelphia Eagles on their next game after that, and Troy Aikman expects to be back and starting them.
Kickoff sails down to Kevin Mathis, and Mathis is hit in the back, almost fumbled at about the 25, hung on, and here comes the Dallas offensive unit. They lead 6-0.
You know what their problem has been? They've moved the ball up and down, and we talked about their problems inside the 20 in the red zone, but the other thing is they've had 6 third downs, and they haven't gotten a first down. They're 0 for 6 on third down conversions, and Chicago's not much better. They're 1 out of 6, so that's a big part of it. I mean, they're not keeping drives together because they're not converting third downs in the first half.
2 wide receivers lined up to the left. That's Davis in motion. This is Emmitt Smith with the ball. And he only gets, well, just a little bit past the line of scrimmage before he's stopped by Barry Minter.
Yeah, and the other guy in there is Jim Flanagan, and he's been very active in this game today. Jim Flanagan, he's kind of the anchor in there. He plays that under tackle, they call it. He plays away from the nose tackle, has good quickness and strength, and he's getting some penetration in there himself. And the Cowboys, other than a couple, really haven't been able to get much going on that inside run.
Not much. Make a reverse. Incomplete. Trying to throw it short to Emmitt Smith. He was just too close to Jason Garrett, I think, and the Bears are right in his face.
Right, and he had to, and Jim Flanagan was the guy that was right in his face. He had a nice spinner move on that play where he starts, you're going to see him start, he starts here, and then he does like this, a spin, and then he's going to end up right in front of Jason Garrett. Watch him see him. Do you see the spin? And then he comes out of that, and he's right there. He gave him a 2-hand tag on that, but if Jason Garrett didn't throw the ball when he did, Jim Flanagan was going to be all over him.
That drawing of yours of that spin was very nimble.
That's like a pirouette.
A double pirouette.
I have no idea what a pirouette is.
They just do get rid of it. They don't. Flag falls, and the Cowboys will be penalized for delay.
And this is the same thing that they're doing. They did this in the first half. Is
delay game, offense, 5 yards, still third down.
When they get them in this 3rd and long situation, is playing them with a 3-man line, make them throw into an 8-man coverage, or sometimes having that 3-man line, dropping one out and making them throw into 9-man coverage. See, here's a 3 rushman right there. One's to the left. Here's one right here. 1, 2, 3. Now, sometimes all 3 of them will come, and sometimes one of them will drop.
All 3 rushing. Pass is caught by Chris Warren out of bounds and short of a first down, well short of a first down.
And now the Cowboys in this game have had 7 third downs, and they've converted none of them.
So that frustrates Chan Gailey.
That's what makes Troy Aikman start to look pretty good to you right now.
One thing about Chan Gailey, in the conversations we've had with him, he's been very honest, very frank. He answers what you ask him, but doesn't tell you much more.
I think he's a very honest, frank man, period.
I think he is. I think he's a good man, period. Ball rolls dead. Bears will take over at their own 30. 6-0 Dallas. In Chicago. Just started the second half. Laurie Russell. If you're here, or if you see the sign. Erik Kramer has time. Incomplete. High for Bobby Ingram.
Yeah, you think at some point, they're going to have to try and throw deep and get out there on Kevin Smith, because that's what other people against the Cowboy defense has been doing. I mean, you're not going to get deep against Deion Sanders, you know that, but you can get deep out there on the other side against Kevin Smith, and I'm surprised they haven't tried that.
Well, they might try it right here. The give is to Edgar Bennett, who starts the second half.
They haven't done anything at all in there. They say that Curtis Conway was a little dizzy there, and he was cleared to play. There's a play that he got hurt on. Remember this post in there? He catches it and gets hit just as he catches the ball. He's down, and he's still not right. I mean, he got that ice pack on his neck, and we talked earlier about how he's been playing. He felt at 75%. He has a pulled groin muscle. And we're talking about now that they're going to hold him out one series, and that maybe he'll be ready for the next time the Bears get the ball.
With the ice on the neck?
But he doesn't look like
he doesn't
be ready
anytime soon
in the near future.
Still Edgar Bennett.
I think here's where they have to work right there.
3 wide receivers, 2 of them to that side, and a flag. I'm not sure what happened. I saw Eric Williams head for the sideline. Game clock was running.
This doesn't look too good for the Bears. They've been outscored 61-0 and 95-0 in the last 11 games in the third quarter.
Third quarter. That's disastrous. Here's Kramer dropping to throw. Sack from the outside by Dexter Coakley.
He was looking downfield and had to hold the ball because of good coverage, and that just allowed Dexter Coakley to get there. Erik Kramer, I think, had someone and was just waiting a little while, because you can watch him as he goes back here, and he's looking, he's waiting, and then Coakley gets him right from there.
Moran's punt handled by Deion Sanders. The Ducks under the good Bear coverage. And so the Dallas offense comes back on the field. They lead 6-0 in the third quarter. Jumped out to the early lead, but the Yankees came back in grand fashion to take game number 1. Don't miss how that drama unfolds tonight with game 2 of the World Series. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific here on Fox.
You know, we were talking to Jim Flanagan yesterday, the defensive tackle of the Bears. He was talking about, you know, home runs and dingers, and he said that a sack to a football player is like a dinger to a baseball player.
2 tight ends set up, Emmitt Smith. And that's Mr. Flanagan.
Yeah, he's tough in there against the run. I don't think he has a dinger yet today, but he's tough against the run. In fact, the Cowboys haven't had much success in running in here. Let's watch Jim Flanagan here. You see, he's a very active guy. I mean, he's just right down. He just reads that thing. He doesn't get blocked. You know, the Cowboys are doing a lot of angle blocks, and if you're going to block Flanagan, you better stay with him a little longer, or maybe even cut him. But you just can't give him one bump and let him go, or he'll make all the tackles.
Here's Garrett. To run out of the pocket, and he's going to run out of bounds. It'll bring up a third down and about 5.
Yeah, that was Mike Wells that time, the other tackle. He just took Clay Shiver and just really pushed him right back into Garrett. See, that's the first thing. The inside guys can't back up. Watch Mike Wells here. He establishes his line right there where Garrett's trying to back up. See, you have to, inside, you have to keep him on the line of scrimmage. And you see what Wells did right there?
Yep.
He just collapsed that pocket right upon Jason Garrett, and then Jason Garrett had to get out of town.
Dallas' third down conversion rate has not been impressive at all. Wasn't bad before today, but today none. There's Garrett again, chased out of the pocket and grounds it.
And still none, and that's going to be a penalty.
Yep.
You were right, he did ground it.
John Theory.
Again, if he gets outside that tight end, if he gets outside where the tight end would line up, he can throw it away if he throws it back to the line of scrimmage. If he's not outside the tight end, he can't illegally throw
grounding
it.
On the quarterback. He was still in the pocket at the time he threw the ball away. The penalty will be at the spot of the foul since it's more than 10 yards. Loss of down, 4th down.
See, this is what he sees here now. Had he gotten outside the tight end position, he wouldn't be in the pocket anymore. You see, so here's where the pocket is, like here. You see, and he doesn't get outside there, so now he can't intentionally ground it.
So the penalty comes from the spot of the foul, and it also includes a loss of down. Let's check the hang time for Toby Gorn.
And it also includes a third down over.
Hang time is not very good.
It wasn't even any hang time.
It never got airborne almost.
That could have been the worst hang time in the history of football.
6-0 Dallas lead. There's the injured Troy Aikman.
Look at this, Pat. If there's been a trend in the game, here's what it is. Dallas 0 for 8 on third down conversions. Chicago 1 for 7 on third down conversions. And a lot of times you help yourself on third down conversions by having success on first down.
They haven't had much success on any down.
Just like that.
Curtis Ennis. Right now for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown at the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles.
Pat, St. Louis, Miami, winding down the first half. Dan Marino fade pattern to Ronde Gadsden. That accounted for all the scoring in the first half. It is now 7-0 Miami over St. Louis in the third. Back to Pat and John.
And that's Leon Lett down.
And he gets the penetration, and watch him. He runs into Curtis Enis. Watch him. He's right there. He gets inside, and it has a collision. That's a helmet-to-helmet collision there. Leon Lett, I don't know if it's his shoulder or what, but he just stays down after that collision.
He had a bad knee, but I don't think that's the problem.
No, it looks like an upper body type of thing.
Oh, the home of the Cubs used to be the home of the Bears.
Where did you used to play when you played for the Cardinals, the Chicago Cardinals?
Comiskey Park.
Comiskey, yeah.
Pass complete to Chris Penn.
Yeah, we saw Leon Lett get hurt. He's coming back in now. It was just a stinger on his left shoulder. He got that penetration, and he hit Curtis Enis. And you'll see Enis is coming right through here. Now watch Lett. Watch the contact with his left shoulder right there. And he just had that arm out there. And I think he just got it twisted. And
I think most of the contact was right head to head.
Yeah. But sometimes you get hit in the head and, stuff just goes down all the way. I mean, you've had them where you got hit in the head and it's gone all the way down to the toes. Yes. You don't know which part you hurt.
3rd and 2. Kramer quickly to Ingram, who's loose. Bobby Ingram out of bounds by Woodson or Kevin Smith.
I'll tell you, Kenny Wheaton was right there. Kenny Wheaton is number 30, and he should have him. You see the blitz here. Here's Wheaton right here. Now you come up, you have to make that tackle.
Yep.
He comes up and he started to wrap around. Bobby Ingram just uses strength and gets out of that Wheaton missed tackle.
Kevin Smith knocked him out of bounds, not Woodson.
That's a heck of a play by Bobby Ingram,
yes,
and that's what wide receivers have to think of, not only running a pattern, getting open, catching the ball, but then after you catch it, making a run.
Kramer on 1st down. Ingram again. By far the deepest the Bears have been into Dallas territory.
Yeah. See, and they got Kevin Smith playing off, and you just wonder, look how deep Kevin Smith is, and it's a type of thing that he really doesn't have the confidence that he once had, and he's given way too big a cushion out there, and then he falls down and he gets beat by 5 or 6 yards. And if he plays like that and the Bears can get protection, they can do that all day.
Well, Kramer had good protection that time. It's another Bear 1st down. Curtis Enis is the deep back, and he gets the carry. He gets a couple.
If he would have seen, if he would have just snapped the ball and thrown out here to the left, there was no one on the wide receiver out here. Kevin Smith finally got over here. But sometimes, if you have a quarterback that's real aware and you have a veteran team, look here. Here's a wide receiver here. There's no one covering. Here's Kevin Smith going. But if you could just snap that ball and throw it out here, that would have been a touchdown. And a guy like Brett Favre a couple years ago would have done something like that.
2nd and 9. 2nd and 8 make it. Ryan Whitknight is the man on the move. The pass, touchdown Bears. Don't know how he got it in there, but he did, and Chris Penn hung on to score the touch.
He's going to come up here, and again against Kevin Smith, he's just going to run the post to the inside, and he hits him right there between Kevin Smith and Omar Stoutmeyer. And he went, like you say, his Penn went and got it. Even he threw it. There was a little crack in there, and Kramer hit that crack.
The Bears take the lead. The extra point is good by Jaeger. This is a heck of a throw by Erik Kramer.
I think he knew that he was going to work on Kevin Smith. I don't know that he knew Omar Stoudemire was going to be there.
Touchdown pass from Kramer. Good catch by Penn. Puts him in the end zone.
And it really wasn't bad coverage either by Kevin Smith. He was pretty much there. They blew that whistle. This play won't count.
Yep.
The ball was not made ready for play. We'll just re-kick it.
I'm not sure what that means. Not made ready for play.
So what happens is the referee has to signal from the other end of the field. See, the referee's down there on the receiving end. He's down there right there. So he has to wait until he gives the signal. Then he gives the signal, and then it's ready to kick. So the ball was kicked, and again, he's at the receiving end of the field, but the ball was kicked before he gave the signal to kick it.
So he's standing back at the goal line is Larry Nimmers.
And the other official is pointing, so he said, watch the guy in the white hat. He's the referee, and he will give you the signal.
Jeff Jaeger with the ball.
Jeff Jaeger knows that. I mean, Jeff Jaeger's been in the league for 12 years. He knows that. There it is. See, now it's ready for play. Now it's ready to kick. Gives a come on.
I knew that.
And then, like, you're an old kicker. And then the ball blows off the tee. They finally get it right.
Yep.
The kicker acknowledges the referee. Yeah. You see what happens on the lower left. The guy was running out and saying that that they weren't ready. That was the first one that didn't count. Here's the one that does count.
This is a low bouncer taken by Kevin Mathis. Mathis comes out of there to almost the 45-yard line, about the 44 where he's down. Stopped by Tony Parrish. But the Cowboys take over.
I think the Cowboys probably have to start going back to some of that stuff they did a week ago. Let Jason Garrett throw some more deep passes and just go back to some of that inside running and just pound on this defense. But the patterns haven't really worked. And I think the thing that Jason Garrett does well is throw a deep pass.
Here's Garrett back to throw it. And the pass is caught by Michael Irvin. That one's been there most of the day.
Yeah, Michael Irvin, one thing about him, he's a heck of a competitor. He's a fiery guy, and he's not only trying to fire himself up, he's trying to fire his whole teammates and the sideline and everyone else up. Here, he runs a good pattern there. You see, he just drives up and he tries to sell that he's going deep. And he's on Walt Harris, and he makes Walt Harris think he's going deep, and then he just breaks it off to the out.
18-yard pickup. Emmitt Smith gets the carry, and he's got some yards down inside the Bear 35-yard lines. Stopped by Sean Harris.
And did you see those shoes that Nate Newton has on? I don't know if they make them quicker or make them look quicker or what, but that's a different kind of boot that my man Nate's wearing today. He has something over him. You see? Look at that. They have a zipper in the front.
He's got a lot of weight over him.
Yeah, but it's a new shoe that he's wearing today.
That's Davis in motion. And Garrett taken down by Flanagan.
Whatever it was, Nate didn't block him. And that's where the penetration is coming. It's the dinger. Flanagan was looking for the dinger. And you're going to see he's just going to get the penetration right here. He starts right here on Nate Newton. He starts him to the inside, then clubs him with the outside, and then he's right on Jason Garrett.
Flanagan's dad played with the Packers.
But when you can club Nate Newton, who weighs 320 pounds, and pick him right out of the ground, you got a pretty strong right arm club.
Maybe those shoes are too light, maybe. 4 wide receivers set up, third down for Dallas. Garrett, upfield pass, incomplete, intended for Irvin.
And that's another one of those lack of third down conversion. But again, that was set up. That third down was set up by the second down sack that Jim Flanagan got Jason Garrett on. then you put them in that 3rd and long, and then you make them throw into coverage. And that's what Dave Wanstead has been doing to Chan Gailey all day.
And Toby going back to punt again.
Dallas is now 0 for 9 on 3rd down conversion.
6 times. This will be number 6. Hunt for Toby going. Bounces in the end zone. They'll bring it back to the 20. Just a little too deep. Last night in the World Series, the Padres jumped out to the early lead, but the Yankees came back in grand fashion to take game number 1. Don't miss how the drama unfolds tonight with game 2 of the World Series. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific here on Fox.
Yeah, we were talking about Jim Flanagan, Pat, and how he said getting a sack is like hitting a home run. I wonder if any of those guys that hit home runs ever say, geez, that's just like getting a sack.
Knobloch or Martinez or Tony Gwynn. Kramer. Pass caught by Chris Penn, and Penn outside the 40.
And again, I think they found something here that they're going to work out there on Kevin Smith, and they're finding Kevin Smith wherever he is. Here we saw that they're running out on him on the other side. They beat him on an out on this side. They just gotten him on the last thing. They just gotten him for a touchdown. So they know where they're not going to throw it to. That's Deion Sanders' side. They are going to throw it to Kevin Smith's side.
Curtis Enos picked up about 6.
It's something, Kevin Smith is a good player and has been a good player for a long time, but, when they start a fire, you have to put out the fire. And until you put out the fire, they're going to keep going and going and going to it.
And that's what you got to do, is just play right through it.
Because everyone has these films.
Kramer again gets to Enos. And Enos is hit and knocked backwards short of a first down. About the 50.
One thing, if you run inside against the Cowboys, and if you get by, Hennings and Leon Lett, you always got Fred Strickland in there. And when Fred Strickland gets you square, that's the end of the run. I mean, Fred Strickland doesn't have a lot of range. I mean, he doesn't go from sideline to sideline. But I'll tell you, on 1st and 2nd down, he does handle that middle pretty well.
Conway is back in the game for the Bears, 3rd and 2. Enos is deep. Kramer drops. Pass is picked off by Dexter Coakley. Coakley down the sidelines, and he's quick, and he's got a touchdown, Dallas. No flags, no penalty, and the Cowboys recapture the lead.
Yep, Dexter Coakley ran that one back 53 yards. He's probably the fastest linebacker in football. And when he got it in the open field, you could see from here that was going to be a touchdown, because no one was going to catch Dexter Coakley.
And now there's a flag down.
Ooh, not only that, there's a hat down somewhere. That's the umpire without his hat.
After the interception, number 97 had a low block during the return. That's a 15-yard penalty. First down, Dallas.
After the interception, during the return, Dallas keeps the ball, but not the touchdown.
Yeah, 97 is Kavika Pittman. You see, so he hasn't penalized yet. I mean, he hasn't committed to penalty yet. He committed to penalty after Coakley got the interception, but before he got to the end zone. So you're going to see the low block right at the 35-yard line, right in there. You see, and that's what it was. And you see the umpire, for some reason, threw his hat. It's right there. That blocking below the waist right there, the open field.
And so the Cowboys get a 1st and 10 at midfield, and Garrett goes to Irvin, first down.
And the funny thing about that, and the wrong thing about that, Coakley is so fast and was so far away from what Kavika Pittman did that he didn't need that. But that happens on interception.
Yep.
you know what happened? Players will always go for the guy that's been blocking them, you know, and what you saw was Pittman go for James Williams, or they'll go for the quarterback.
1st and 10, Cowboys. The Bears 38. Garrett gives to Emmett Smith, and Emmett breaks into the secondary, bounces off one, and gets another 1st down. And right now, let's go for an NFL update to James Brown at the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles.
All right, Pat, in San Diego, take a look at the delayed draw. Natron Means, look at this good hard running as he takes it to pay dirt, 14 yards, trying to give June Jones his first victory as an interim coach. San Diego on top, 10-3. That in the 3rd. Back to Pat and John.
June Jones didn't want that job, did he?
Well, I don't know. It was tough because Kevin Gilbride was his friend, and June Jones was the quarterback coach, and that was one of the big problems.
Garrett outside to Ernie Mills. Inside the Bear 20. About the 19. Not enough for a first. Clock running with 2.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, and the Bears leading by a point.
Yeah, I think that's something that could really help the Cowboys. You can see that they really haven't had success down here in the red zone today. But if they get more on 1st down, then they're not going to get into those 3rd and long situations.
Emmitt Smith got some room and got a blocker in front. Darryl Johnson. Emmitt Smith. That's Warren, not Emmitt Smith. I beg your pardon.
And that's what Chris Warren adds to this team. He is a better outside runner. He's a better outside runner than Emmitt Smith. Now watch the strength there. We got LaFleur here, and we got Allen here. We got Nate Newton here. So that's the power side of this offense. They bring Allen down. They bring LaFleur down. They pull Nate out there. He gets the hook. That gets Chris Warren around the corner. Right here, Moose Johnston gets that one. So he got 3 good blocks on that play.
1st and goal at the 2. That's Warren. Not much.
The way the Bears are playing defense down there, they're really ganging up on that inside run, and a play pass and a bootleg would have been a good play on 1st down. It still might be there on 2nd down. It won't be there on 3rd down. So if you're going to run a play pass where you fake the run and throw the pass, you have to do it on this down. You can't wait to 3rd down to do it.
Warren's out. Emmitt Smith is in. 2nd goal at the 2. Moose Johnston to the 1. Lost the ball. Got it back.
That's the play that they tried earlier that they left short of the goal line. It's that same type of thing where they try and sucker him and think that you're not going to hand it to Moose Johnston, and they just try and slip him right through there. But again, he was short in the 1st half, and he's short in the 2nd half.
At the 1. Clock running with 20 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. The Bears by 1. This may be a play, maybe not. Quarter might run out.
Well, they have to give this one to Emmitt Smith
here. Get this one in. He fakes to Emmitt Smith. Fires to LaFleur. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Yep, you can do it on 3rd down.
Yeah.
Because you think that, that they're really expecting it. Usually on 3rd down, when you're on the goal line, you play pass more. Again, the Bears played run hard on 1st down, 2nd down, and then on 3rd down. Here's LaFleur here. He didn't even fake a block. He comes out there, and there is no one that is covering him. No one is even close to big old LaFleur.
Nobody in the picture except LaFleur. I said Jason Garrett fired it to him. He lobbed it to him.
Well, I mean, that's one of those things that you just get it to him any way you can because there's no one else in the picture.
For 2 points, incomplete. 12-7 Cowboys.
Jason Garrett saying that Michael Irvin was held on that play. That's not a bad move. At 14, had they made the 2 points, then that would have put them 1 touchdown up. 13, 1 touchdown puts them ahead anyway.
The discussion continues. Larry Nimmers and Emmitt Smith. Larry's laughing. I don't think Emmett is.
You know, it all started. Remember how that started? That was Dexter Coakley's interception. And he returned it all the way for a touchdown. Kavika Pittman had a penalty on the play, so they had to bring it back. And then the offense of the Cowboys took it in and finished up what the defense of the Cowboys had started.
At least they got a couple of third down conversions on that possession.
I think that touchdown there was a third down play. I think that was their first conversion.
It was.
That was their first third down conversion.
So Toby going back to kick off to Glenn Milburn. Ball blew off the tee.
This is a record for balls blowing off the tee in a game. We've got 4 today.
There it is again.
And that's 5.
Just added to the record.
And now they'll have a holder. You see, we got the referee down the other end. He's pointing. You'll get a holder in there. And then he's saying, okay, is everyone ready? Check both sides.
Darren Woodson holding. Toby going, set to kick it.
That's a good hold.
Could be. Milburn. Tripped up. That's the end of the third quarter with the score: the Cowboys 12, the Bears 7. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station. Put it there. And that's what he does, and stays with it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes maybe the guys would look, or they'd look when they kick, and they'd move their finger before the guy kicked it.
Kramer throws outside, intended for Bennett, incomplete. Hard pass to throw.
Sometimes when you were a kid, they'd kick your finger too, and that's why you were moving out there. And look at Moose here. He looks like he's getting a little gray hair. Is that me, or is that?
No, that's
Moose
true.
Getting a little gray.
That's true.
Yeah, Moose is getting a little gray up there around the temples, huh?
Now he's a mature moose.
I don't know, but you know, sometimes they put a little color in that when they're that young and they're still.
Folks have been known to do that. Yeah.
NFL fullbacks. What Moose getting a little gray? Who would have thought?
A mature moose. Pass is caught by Conway. First down, Bears.
And it's again on Kevin Smith, and they found that. Deion Sanders has been on Conway most of the time, but the way to do it, to get Deion Sanders off, is to put him in the slot. And then by putting him in the slot, then Deion Sanders gets off him. And again, that was kind of an inside-out thing, and the closest guy there was Kevin Smith, who made the tackle.
First and 10 Bears, their own 45. Wet Knight in motion. Handoff is to Edgar Bennett. Not much there.
Remember the year, and in fact, I was telling someone the other day, I think the most fun year that we've ever had was the 1985 season when the Bears went to the Super Bowl, and this was such a great place then, and the city of Chicago, and
we did about eight of their games that year.
Yeah, and we never did see one touchdown scored against that defense. I mean, that was football. I mean, we had football and football weather in Chicago and Soldier Field, and boy, I'd love to see those days again here.
And that defense, Kramer just barely gets rid of it. He's hit by Dexter Coakley, who was coming on a blitz. He could come pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing with Dexter Coakley. I said earlier that he's probably the fastest linebacker in football, and when he decides that he's going to go, he just timed that thing perfectly. And what you want to do is you don't want to give it away, but you want to be able to start where you can hit that gap just as the ball is being snapped, and Coakley did it on that play.
3rd and 8. Quick catch for Kramer, and he has time and throws complete to Conway. First down. Kevin Smith complaining that he was pushed away.
Yeah, I'm sure you know that Kevin Smith is just one of those things that they're working on him, and he did get pushed off that time, but he was pushing too. I mean, that's, you know, more and more in the NFL, the corners and the wide receivers have been battling.
Curtis Enos, the deep back. That's Robert Chancey.
You know who found Robert Chancey? He's like you say, a big fullback. He didn't even go to college. The University of None.
Was with San Diego.
Yeah, so. Bobby Beathard. Yeah. Bobby Beathard found him, signed him at San Diego, and he was on their practice squad, and the Bears picked him up, and someone told Dave Wanstead, I think you got a good one in this guy.
And they believe that that's correct information. 2nd and 7. Conway in motion. Hand off to Enos.
Yeah, we were talking about the one thing that you don't do is you don't throw the ball on Deion Sanders, and you can see that they completed 2 balls in his area. They completed 5 on Kevin Smith for 74 yards and a touchdown. So you know that you're going to stay away from Deion Sanders.
3rd and 3. Milburn in the backfield. The pass is to Milburn. He's going to get a first down and get out of bounds at about the Cowboy 21.
You guys remember Milburn was at Green Bay this summer, and they had to make the decision between he and Roel Preston, and they decided to go with Preston, so Milburn ends up here, and Milburn has been pretty effective as a return guy
wherever he's been,
and as a third down back too.
1st and 10, just outside the 20. Dallas leading by 5 points. Curtis Enos, flag on the play, back at the line of scrimmage, or close to it. He was inside the 5.
Yep, and that's in the area of offensive holding too, and probably against Leon Lett. The flag, if you're going to hold someone, Leon Lett will mostly get his body in a position where you have to hold him more than any of the other defensive linemen.
Number 58, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
58 is Chris Valerio. You'll see he's number 58, the right guard right there.
There's Leon Lett in front of him.
And you see right there, he's blocking Leon Lett there. Now he's okay there, okay there. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know that Leon Lett wasn't diving for Curtis Enos as much as Chris Valerio was holding him.
At any rate, it's 1st and 20. Back at the 30.
Those active defensive linemen do draw a lot of penalties.
Conway in motion. Kramer to throw it. In the middle to his tight end Mays, Alonzo Mays. Dave Wanstead was saying he weighs about 280.
Yeah, and he's such a big guy and a good blocker that someday he is going to be a good one, and the big target here. I mean, once he gets by and gets open there, and you're looking down the middle, you can always see that big 8 and the 5.
Deion Sanders made the stop, wrestled him to the ground. 2 tight ends set up again. Kramer to throw it. That's Chris Penn.
Oh, and they're going to say that Omar Stottmeyer hit him out of bounds, I bet. That one's going to be against Dallas.
Personal foul, number 24.
Yep.
A late hit out of bounds after the runner ran out of bounds. We'll go half the distance to the goal. First down.
Yeah, that was very close, but you could see that they were going to get him on that. Again, the missed tackle there by Kevin Smith, and you see that he's out of bounds and does give up. Yeah, he was running out of bounds, and he gave up. Here's the whole thing. Here's Kevin Smith again giving too much of a cushion, and you see then he looks into the backfield. Then he misses the tackle. Now Stottmeyer comes over after he is out of bounds and just gives him a whack right there. Oh, yeah, well, I don't know what he was arguing about there. About as illegal a whack as you can get, isn't it?
Chancey hits into the middle and is repelled.
You know, Carolina threw that same pattern against Kevin Smith on that same area of the field for a touchdown last week.
The Rocket.
The only thing is that Stockmeyer didn't get over there. The guy didn't run out of bounds. He just ran up the sideline.
2nd and goal at the 4. Gets only a yard. Leon Lett.
There's Leon Lett again. He's the guy. He's the guy that you have to block. If you're gonna run inside, you just have to get him there.
That's that missed 2-point conversion attempt by the Cowboys.
Watch Leon Lett here. I mean, he just gets the penetration. I mean, he's so tough to block, you know, and he's so tough to keep on his side of the line of scrimmage. Leon Lett is always playing on your side of the line of scrimmage.
The other guy that hit him was Strickland. Incomplete. No flag. Intended for Bobby Ingram.
And now the Bears are going to have to go for a field goal there.
Yep.
Again, they're just going to keep working on Kevin Smith until he puts that thing out. Yeah, I don't know if Kramer could have held the ball. I don't know what kind of pattern Bobby Ingram was running, but if he would have been running any kind of pattern, and if Kramer would have been able to hold the ball, that could have been a touchdown.
Jeff Jaeger from 22 yards away hits the field goal, and it's the Cowboys by 1. By 2, I beg your pardon. 12-10 the score. The Bears kick off. It's going to be Kevin Mathis. The ball gets through him. He comes out of the end zone now. Makes his move. He looked a little uncertain. He got out to about the 12.
Yep, he looked uncertain and made a bad decision because he looked uncertain. And that's that thing that, you know, the whole wedge and the kickoff return is a timing thing, and then when you break that timing, when you don't handle it cleanly, you have no blocking whatsoever, no chance. And that's one that, I mean, it's easy to say now, but even before he left, that's one he just should have left in the end zone, because if he does, he gets the ball in the 20.
Right. Indecision is usually bad.
Usually goes to indigestion for the coach.
Yeah.
Indecision equals indigestion.
More people get gray hair than the Moose.
These two guys have been playing well today inside for the Bears.
Cowboys 12, Bears 10. First down at their own 11. 8:12 left to play. The Cowboys lead the Bears by 2. To about the 15 is Emmitt Smith.
Mike Wells was saying that he was held on that play, and we talked about Leon Lett playing on the Bears side of the line of scrimmage. Mike Wells is kind of doing the same thing. Watch the penetration that he gets. Again, he's a big, strong guy, 320 pounds. They come on a blitz. You see, he just takes the center. He just sends Clay Shiver right into Emmitt Smith. That's a heck of a defensive play. He just needed a little help a little sooner, and he didn't get it.
2 tight ends on 2nd down, Dallas. Garrett. Whoa. Incomplete. Walt Harris saw the ball coming. Irvin fell down.
Yeah, Walt Harris was looking into the backfield, so he sees that 3-step drop. So he knows right now that ball's coming, and he got a jump on that. And if Michael Irvin wasn't down in the ground that knocked Walt Harris down, that would have been an interception. And if it were an interception, it'd probably be a touchdown.
Yep. 3rd and 6. 1 out of 10 on 3rd down conversions today for the Dallas Cowboys. Garrett drops back in the shotgun. There are no backs with him. The receiver is there. That's Chris Warren, and he gets a Dallas first down.
Stay up in silence.
That's the thing is, you said here's Chris Warren here, here's Deion Sanders here. 3 receivers on the other side of the field. Warren is going to come up and run it out. Knows where that first down marker is. Right there, picks up the first down.
That's their second 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, that's kind of lonely in that shotgun for a guy like Jason Garrett when you have 5 receivers out there, that means you have no one else back there helping you.
1st and 10. It gives to Emmitt Smith, and Emmitt gets some room and runs for Dallas 1st down. Marty Carter wrapped him up. The clock runs now with 6:45 left. Today's game being produced by Bob Stinner. Go ahead, John.
Well, we talk about this. You see, you get a good double team right here, and then Emmitt Smith you see Mike Wells, he read that double team, and he started to float down to that side. Emmitt Smith started to his left, and then just made that good cutback lane.
1st down, Dallas at their own 34.
Emmitt Smith has 77 yards today, Pat, but they've been a tough 77.
They have. He gets another carry. Today's game produced by Bob Stinner, directed by Sandy Grossman, the associate director Mike Roig. Broadcast associates are Fran Morrison and Charles McDonald. Technical producers Bob Muller. Studio was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Associate director Jennifer Love. Senior producers Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Clock running 5.5 minutes. Bjornsson goes in motion. Garrett drops the throw. Goes deep to Irvin. It's going to be incomplete. Right now for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown, Los Angeles.
And John, take a look top of your screen. John Avery in the wing position for Miami. Heads out into his pattern. He's got a linebacker, Roman Pfeiffer on him. Ping-pong pass by Dan Marino. Touchdown, Miami. They're up 14-0. Less than 7 left in the 4th. Back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
At Soldier Field, Chicago 12-10. Dallas leads the Bears.
And this is another one of those situations that the Cowboys haven't had much success with, or any success, is that 3rd and long.
3rd and 9. Garrett again.
And here's probably where they'll get a 2-man rush.
Timeout. Dallas, first timeout this half. They have 2 left. The Bears have all the Bears. Chicago at Soldier Field, 12-10, 3rd and 9 Cowboys. The Cowboys with a 2-point lead. Average yards on 3rd down, yards to go 9.5, and that's about what they have now. And they're 2 for 11 on 3rd down conversions.
3 wide receivers down here in the bottom, 2 on top. Now they have 2 in the backfield with Garrett.
Here comes a Bear blitz. Garrett. Incomplete. A flag on the play. A flag dropped immediately. It's intended for Deion Sanders. Flag on the play.
Walt Harris is number 27. They're going to call it against him. He looked like he really had pretty good coverage. He was right there tight on Deion Sanders and tight on the ball.
An offset. Illegal motion against Dallas. Let's see.
Defensive pass interference against the Bears. There was an illegal formation on the offensive team. The wide receiver was covered and went downfield. Penalties offset. Will replay 3rd down.
You see what they're talking about is the cover. If this guy is on the line of scrimmage, he can't be eligible. So he's on the line of scrimmage. They're both on the line of scrimmage. Now when he goes down, he's an ineligible receiver because he covered him here. That's what they're calling here. That one of those 2 receivers have to be back. They both can't be up on the line of scrimmage, or the inside one is ineligible.
And if he is up, as he was, he can't go downfield. So it's still 3rd and 9. And Garrett, pump fake, throws outside to Irvin, who juggles and drops.
Again, the Bears did exactly what they wanted to do to him. They only rushed a couple of guys, and they just had all coverage. They made him throw underneath the sticks. They don't get it.
And Toby going back for his 7th punt of the day. Glenn Milburn deep. What wind there is, this is against it. Good kick. Good kick by Dorn. Milburn gets away from it. The Cowboys are going to down it. It now rolls into the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 20. Almost. So the Bears will take over. They have all of their timeouts remaining. The Cowboys over the Bears. 5 minutes, 1 second left. The ball at the 20-yard line. The Bears have it there. First and 10 at their own 20. 4 down linemen for the Cowboys. That's the rush on Kramer. He has time. Good production. Alonzo Mays, the tight end, gets a Bear first down.
I'll tell you, Dave Wanstead wanted to get him involved. And when you get that guy rumbling down the field, you got 270 pounds of rumble. That is something. When he gets a ball here, now watch him. When he turns and runs, there's not going to be anyone that wants to take him on squarely. You see what Stoudemire did? He got to the side and then tackled him low. That's a way to get a guy like Alonzo Mays.
Bears just need a field goal to take the lead. That's Curtis Enos. And he gets another Bear first down.
I'll tell you, that's 2 back-to-back rookie lows. First one was Alonzo Mays running in the open field, and then here's Curtis Enos. And it gets this crowd up. Looks like the old Bear fans.
They moved into Dallas territory with that run by Enos.
And you look at that score up there, 12-10, and you remember that Dallas had a chance when they scored 12 to go for the extra point. They went for 2. So now a field goal can beat them.
Kramer back to throw it and goes deep. And the pass is incomplete. The receiver was intended. That was Bobby Ingram, who's all tied up with the defender, but no flag.
Yeah, that's Kevin Smith out there on him, and Bobby Ingram was asking that official for pass interference.
Intended for Bobby Ingram and ruled incomplete. Kevin Smith. Second and 10 at the Cowboys.
This is what happens when you know, at some point, you get accepted on a team in your rookie year, and at some point you make it. And I think Curtis Enos hasn't done that yet, but he may be on the road to doing that.
I think he is. The fake to Enos. The pass down the middle to Mays, and Mays inside the 30.
Now I think what the Bears want to do is kind of slow things down, because they don't want the Cowboys to get the ball back. I mean, they want to score and not let the Cowboys get the ball back. Again, Erik Kramer having good protection so that he can wait for Alonzo Mays to get open, because Mays doesn't get open on those deep ends quickly. It takes a little while, and if it's going to take a little while for him to get open, it takes some pass protection that the Bears are getting.
First and 10 at the Dallas 28. Outside quickly to Ingram.
Now that had to be an audible there. Again, they saw Kevin Smith was way off, so they knew that they could just reach up, throw that ball out there to Ingram, and they'd get close to a first down. Watch where Kevin Smith is. You see he's back off here, so he knows that he can just throw the ball to Bobby Ingram, and by the time Kevin Smith gets to him, he's going to have about 8 yards.
He got down to the 20, so it's 2nd and 2. 2:51 left. And the Bears moving into field goal range. They're in field goal range. Here comes the blitz. They give the ball off to Ty Halleck. Ty Halleck. Nothing doing in the middle.
So what the Bears want to do here is they want to take time. They want to, take time off the clock, not let the Cowboys get the ball back, but then still score a touchdown. They know that a field goal would be 13-12. That's fine, but then all the Cowboys would need would be a field goal, because they'd like to get a touchdown here, and then if Dallas does get the ball back, then Dallas is going to need a touchdown.
They let the clock run.
Of course, to run this, they have to get a first down. This is a third down here.
Clock stops, 2:09. This it'll stop again at 2 minutes. 12-10, and the Bears well within Jeff Jager's field goal range.
That's what happens here, Pat. When the defense kicks the ball
unintentionally.
Unintentionally. He was just going to his position. Then they had to respot the ball
and reset the clock. It's down to 2 minutes. At Soldier Field, we missed the quarterback sneak by Erik Kramer in an attempt to get the Bear first down. Here it is. And the Bears think they got it.
Well, the Bears need about a half yard. It's third down and about a half yard, and I would say that they got it right there.
Those of you just joined us, welcome to Soldier Field, Chicago. Pat Summerall with John Madden, the Bears and the Cowboys, with the Bears trailing the Cowboys by 2 points, 12-10, but in field goal range to take the lead by 1. They got the first down.
And they had it by that much, and Chan Gailey has to take a timeout now. Because, again, he's thinking that the Bears are going to score, and if the Bears do score, or when they do score, he wants the ball back. So to get time, he has to start saving time right now.
But he's using timeouts. This is earlier today, the touchdown pass from Kramer to Chris Penn, who made a heck of a catch, and from Garrett to LaFleur. Then they, after that touchdown, went for 2 and missed.
And then because they didn't make it, then that means that all the Bears have to do is kick a field goal to win this game.
That's the Bear kicker, Jeff Jager.
You know, it's one of those things that you always say when someone misses an extra point, you always say that thing will sit up there all day and come back to haunt you.
It usually does.
You can really say the same thing when you go for 2 and you don't get 2. That can come back to haunt you.
It certainly figures right now. The Cowboys are down to 1 timeout.
That's why the Bears will probably keep it on the ground to make the Cowboys use another timeout.
Edgar Bennett is the deep back. And Bennett gets the carry straight ahead, stop. And the Cowboys will probably take another timeout right now.
And the Bears knew that they didn't want to throw the ball or do anything that would stop the clock on their own. But by running the ball, that forces the Cowboys to take their last timeout. Now the Bears are in pretty good position.
Yep.
I mean, they can dictate what they want to do. The last thing you want to do is force anything in here, and I'm sure that's what Dave Wanstead is talking to Erik Kramer about. If you're going to go for a pass, go for it. Make sure the guy's wide open or throw it away. Don't force anything. Don't take a sack. Don't have the turnover here. Chan Gailey is thinking frustration. When you're an offensive guy, whether you're an offensive coordinator, an offensive coach, a quarterback, or player, the most frustrating thing is when you're on the sideline and can't get the ball back.
2nd and 8, and the Cowboys are out of timeouts. And the Bears, again, just banging straight ahead with Edgar Bennett. Don't forget baseball coming up next here on Fox. Last night in the World Series, the Padres jumped out to the early lead, but the Yankees came back, of course, and won game number 1. So don't miss how that drama unfolds next with game 2 of the World Series. Coverage is coming up next right here on Fox.
Jeff Jager over there warming up. You see all those guys standing behind him watching him?
Yep.
There's probably as much interest in Jeff Jager on the sideline as there's been for years.
Kramer again gives to Bennett. Bennett hammers it down a little bit closer. And the clock continues to tick off the seconds, down to 45 now.
I'm kind of surprised that the Bears didn't take a shot at the end zone. I always believe that if you have third down, you take one shot and the guy's either ridiculously open or you throw it away before you kick the field goal, because that gives you 2 shots. One, throwing it to the end zone. Then if you don't get it, you still got the field goal.
Here comes Jager. They'll let the clock run down as far as they can before they snap it and attempt this field goal. He has 7 game-winning field goals in his career. He's with the Raiders for a long time.
Dave Wanstead coaching against his old team, the Dallas Cowboys.
And now they call timeout. The Bears call this one with 15 seconds to go. Bears still have 2 left. Again, a reminder coming up next. World Series Game 2. Padres and the Yankees at Yankee Stadium.
Did you see the pregame show today? They had some kids on there from Long Beach Poly.
Yes.
Long Beach Poly High School. Long Beach Poly has more players that played at that high school than any other high school in the country. They're playing in the NFL.
Sounds like they might have some more.
Well, and then they also have Tony Gwynn, who's playing for the Padres.
Right. This from 29 yards away for Jager. And the field goal is good, and there's a flag on the play. There's a penalty marker down.
Oh, that is going to be interesting. Now, it's not that interesting because it's going to be against the Cowboys. There's no way the Bears are going to take the points off the
for
clock.
leaping on the defensive team. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. The field goal is good.
It's 13-12.
What you do is you can't leap. You can't jump on someone's back. Now watch Stottmeyer right here. He has to be the guy that does it. I don't see anyone else climbing on anyone.
I don't either.
He jumped over him is what he did. He jumped up in the air and then fell back on his own guy. Remember in the old days, you used to come running up and used to jump on someone's back and jump up. Looked like maybe he tried to do that. But I think that he didn't climb anyone. He just jumped up in the air. Watch 24. He just climbed up in the air and he fell on top of his guy. But that's academic anyway. The big thing was the protection, the field goal.
Just could see Jager fall down.
Jager, that's that plant foot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing with those soccer-style kickers, and that they have to get that plant foot. And when you get a heavy field like that, that plant foot slips. But I know what this guy feels like.
He feels pretty good right now.
When you put that last nail in, and you wonder, you go back to the fact that, because the Cowboys went for the 2 and didn't kick the extra point, then that puts them 1 down in this situation. So there's going to be a lot of second guessing on that one. And, that maybe if you would have just taken the extra point, then that field goal just would have tied you.
And we'd be going into overtime. The kickoff comes from the 45. And they're going to bring it out of the end zone. No, they're going to stay there with 11 seconds left on the clock.
I think that they didn't want to run any time off the clock. That rather than the kickoff return, I think what the Cowboys wanted to do was to have a play or 2 for their offense, rather than one of those plays being a special teams play or kickoff return.
Kevin Mathis downed it in the end zone. They bring it out to the 20. So the Cowboys will have time for 1, maybe 2 plays.
And I would think that Chan Gailey has a play for this situation. One of those things where you lateral the ball or hook and ladder, or one of those kinds of plays.
I bet you it involves Deion Sanders in some way. He's lined up outside to the left. Jason Garrett retreats, fires up the middle, and the pass is picked off. He was looking for Sanders, and it's picked off. Flag on the play as Eric Williams and Andre Collins came up with the interception.
I'll tell you, the Bears were 1-5 coming into this game, but they fought this whole game. They really did. You lose confidence when you lose. You get frustrated. The Bears went through all this, but Dave Wanstead held them together, and they hung in there for 60 minutes against this Cowboy team.
After the interception,
we had a personal foul on the passing team. For unnecessary roughness, number 76 will add 15 yards to the interception. It would be 1st and 10, Chicago.
Called against Flozell Adams. The Cowboys have a bye week coming up.
And that's a long time to have a hangover.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I think that really affects you in a negative way. And I think it did the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers lost, then they had a bye, and then they lost again.
The Cowboys will be 4-3. The Bears 2-5. Arizona's 3-4, and the Giants 3-4 in the NFC East. The final score then is the Chicago Bears 13, the Dallas Cowboys 12, and stay with us because we'll be right back here.